Quick question, and I want you to actually think about this, not just skim past it. Can you stand up from a chair right now without using your hands? No, the armrest. No rocking yourself forward 3 times to build momentum. Just stand up. If you hesitated even for a second, stay with me, because this video might be one of the most important 6-year-olds you watch this year. Wait, the most important videos. But actually, that slip is kind of perfect, because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. The #1 reason seniors lose their independence isn't a disease. It isn't even old age itself. It's the slow, quiet disappearance of one specific type of strength, the kind you use every single day without even noticing it. Getting out of bed, getting off the toilet, catching yourself before a fall, carrying groceries up the porch steps. And here's the part that keeps physical therapists up at night. Most people don't notice it happening until it's already a problem. One day, you're fine. The next, you're gripping the kitchen counter just to stand up and you're telling yourself, I guess this is just what getting older feels like. It's not. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why and exactly what to do about it. If you've ever felt a little wobblier than you used to, a little more nervous on stairs, a little more tired doing things that used to be easy, this video was made for you. Let's get into it. Now, here's where most advice gets it completely backwards. You've probably heard some version of this. Just walk more. Walking is the safest, best exercise for older adults. And look, walking is wonderful. Nobody's you to stop. But here's the myth. Walking alone does not stop the #1 thing that leads to falls, hospital stays, and loss of independence in people over 60. And that thing is called sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss. Walking keeps your heart healthy. It keeps you moving. But it does almost nothing to rebuild the specific muscles that let you get up off the floor if you fall, or catch your balance if you trip. Here's the hope, though, and this is backed by real science, not wishful thinking. This muscle loss is not a one-way street. It is not an inevitable, unstoppable slide. In fact, research shows that strength can be rebuilt at any age, yes, even in your 70s, 80s, and 90s. The body doesn't stop responding to the right kind of movement. It just needs the right stimulus, done the right way. And that's exactly what we're covering today. So let's bring in someone who actually understands the science behind this, because I don't want to just throw around scary words like sarcopenia without explaining what's really happening. Mitchell, in plain English, what actually happens to our muscles as we age? Great question, and here's the analogy I give all my patients. Think of your muscle like a well-used rope. In your 20s and 30s, that rope is thick, tightly woven, strong. But starting around age 30, we naturally be losing about 3 to 5% of our muscle mass per decade. And that loss speeds up significantly after 60. So slowly, strand by strand, that rope gets thinner. And that's sarcopenia. And the scary part is it doesn't just affect how strong you feel, it affects your balance, your bone density, even your metabolism. Research published in geriatric medicine journals consistently links low muscle mass with higher fall risk, longer hospital recovery times, and loss of independent living. So this isn't just looking fit. This is about independent. That's exactly it. But here's the good news that I wish more people knew. Unlike a rope, muscle isn't a fixed material. It's tissue. Give it the right signal, the right kind of resistance, and it rebuilds. Studies on resistance training in older adults have shown measurable strength gains in people in their 90s in just a matter of weeks. The body is far more capable of adapting than most people assume. That's honestly really encouraging. So there's a specific exercise that targets exactly this. One exercise, done correctly and consistently, targets almost everything we just talked about: leg strength, balance, bone density, even confidence. And I'd argue it's the single most functional movement a senior can practice. All right, I love that, because that's exactly what we're doing today. In this video, you're going to learn the one core exercise every senior should be doing, and why it matters than almost anything else at 3 progressive levels of it. So whether you're just starting out or you're already pretty active, you'll have a version, the exact step-by-step form, so you can do it safely at home. Starting today, the most common that makes this exercise less effective or even risky, and how to avoid it. and a simple weekly plan so you know exactly how often to do this for real results. No fancy equipment. No membership. No complicated routines. Just one powerful movement explained the right way. Let's meet the expert who's going to walk us through it. For those of you just finding us, welcome to Vital Years, the channel dedicated to helping you move better, feel stronger, and stay independent at any age. Every week, we bring on real experts, physical therapists, doctors, movement specialists, to cut through the confusing fitness advice out there and give you what actually works. Today's guest is Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a physical therapist who has spent the last 15 years specializing in fall prevention and mobility training for older adults. She's worked with patients from age 65 to 98, and she's about to show us the one exercise she prescribes more than any other. Dr. Mitchell, thank you so much for being here. Thrilled to be here. This is a topic I genuinely think can change lives, so I'm glad we're talking about it. Before we dive into the exercise itself, I want to ask you, watching right now, the same question I asked at the start of this video. I asked this not to make anyone feel bad. Genuinely, there's no judgment here. This is simply the most telling, real-world test physical therapists use to gauge lower body strength. Your honest answer will actually help you understand exactly how much this video applies to you. So take 10 seconds, drop that comment, and let's keep going. Okay, Dr. Mitchell, let's really break this down for someone who's never thought about functional strength before. What does that even mean? So, functional strength is simply the strength you use to do everyday tasks, as opposed to, say, lifting weights just to build muscle for its own sake. Standing up, getting out of a car, climbing a step, recovering your balance if you stumble. And here's the analogy I love to use. Imagine your legs are like the foundation of a house. If that foundation is strong, the whole house, your whole body, stays stable no matter what happens around it. Wind blows, ground shifts a little, the house holds. But if that foundation weakens, even small disturbances become dangerous. And in the body, that foundation is really the muscles around the hips and knees. Precisely, your quadriceps, your glutes, your hamstrings. These are the biggest, most powerful muscles in your body, and they are the ones responsible for that foundation. When they weaken, everything above them becomes less stable. That's why so many falls happen not from tripping over something dramatic, but simply from a small stumble the body used to be able to correct, and now can't. That's such an important distinction. It's not that the world got more dangerous. It's that the body's ability to respond to everyday danger quietly declined. Exactly. And the encouraging part, the part I want every viewer to really hear, is that this exact foundation strength is trainable with one simple movement. You don't need 15 different exercises. You need one, done consistently and correctly. Before we show everyone exactly how to do it, let's talk safety, because I know some of our viewers might be a little nervous, especially if they haven't exercised in a while. Absolutely, and I'm glad you asked, because safety always comes first. A few quick things. First, if you have any existing joint issues, recent surgeries, heart conditions, or balance disorders, please check with your doctor or physical therapist before starting any new exercise, including this one. This video is educational, not a substitute for personalized medical advice. Second, always have a sturdy, stable chair nearby, ideally one without wheels, positioned against a wall if possible. Third, never hold your breath during the movement. Breathe out as you exert effort, breathe in as you relax. Holding your breath can spike blood pressure unnecessarily. And fourth, start slow. This is not a race, and it's genuinely not about how many you can do on day one. It's about doing it correctly, and doing it consistently. I love that framing. Consistent, not extreme. All right, with all of that in mind, let's finally show everyone the exercise. So, Dr. Mitchell, what is this exercise exactly? It's called the sit to stand, and if that sounds simple, that's because it is. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This single movement is, in my professional opinion, the most valuable exercise for anyone over 60. Let's start with the beginner version, for anyone who's nervous or hasn't exercised regularly. Perfect. Here's exactly how to do it. Step by step. 1. Sit toward the front edge of a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, shoulder width apart. 2. Place your hands on the armrests or on your thighs if there are no armrests. 3. Lean your chest slightly forward, over your knees. This shifts your weight into your legs, which is key. 4. Press through your feet and use your arms to help push yourself up to a full standing position. 5. Pause for a full second at the top. Standing tall. 6. Slowly, with control, lower yourself back down into the chair. Don't just plop down, control the descent. That's 1 repetition. And why does something this simple actually work? Great question. This movement directly recruits your quadriceps, glutes, and hip flexors, the exact foundation muscles we talked about earlier. Every time you do this, you're sending a direct signal to your body. These muscles are needed, keep them strong. That signal is what triggers the body to preserve and rebuild muscle tissue. Even later in life, there's also a balance component here that people often overlook. The controlled lowering phase trains something called eccentric strength, which is actually one of the biggest predictors of fall prevention. It's the strength that lets you catch yourself, not just push yourself up. So it's not just building strength. It's building the specific type of strength that prevents falls. Exactly right. But what are the benefits someone can expect? With consistent practice, people typically notice improved confidence standing up within just a couple of weeks. Over a few months, we often see measurable improvements in leg strength, balance test scores, and, importantly, a real reduction in fall risk. It also supports bone density, since weight-bearing movements like this stimulate bone strengthening as well. How often should do this? For beginners, I recommend starting with 1 set of 5 repetitions, once a day. As that becomes comfortable, usually within a week or 2, you can build up to 2 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions, most days of the week. And if someone's doing this right now, watching this video, what would you say to them? I'd say, the fact that you're even trying this puts you ahead of most people your age. This is genuinely one of the best decisions you can make for your long-term independence. Be patient with yourself. Every single repetition is doing more than you realize. Of that. Now, here's something even more important. What happens once someone masters this beginner version? Because I know a lot of our viewers are already fairly active. So once someone can comfortably do the assisted version for, say, 10 repetitions without much effort, it's time to progress. And this is where a lot of people get stuck, because they don't realize progression is just as important as starting. What does the next level look like? This is the unassisted sit-to-stand, sometimes just called a bodyweight squat. Here's how. 1. Same starting position, seated at the edge of the chair, feet flat and shoulder width apart. 2. This time, cross your arms over your chest or extend out in front of you. No hands on the chair or your leg. 3. Lean forward slightly from the hips. Push up through your heels and stand fully upright, using only your leg muscles, no arm assistance. 5. Pause at the top, then slowly lower down with control, hovering just an inch above the seat before touching down. That hover part sounds tough. It is, and that's exactly the point. That hover phase is where the real strength building happens. It challenges your muscles under tension for longer, which is one of the most effective ways to build strength at any age. Why does removing the hands matter so much? Because in real life, you don't always have something to grab onto. If you're getting up off a low couch or recovering your balance after a stumble, your arms often aren't available to help. Training this movement without your hands closes that gap between exercise and real life. What benefits come with this version specifically? This is where we start to see real, measurable gains, improved balance, confidence, stronger hip and knee stability, and for many of my patients, this is the point where they tell me they feel noticeably more capable in daily life. Getting off low chairs, out of cars, off the floor, all of it starts feeling easier. How many reps? How often? I typically recommend 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, 3 to 4 times a week, with a day of rest between sessions to let the muscles recover and rebuild. And for anyone worried they're not ready for this version yet, there's no rush. Muscle building isn't about speed, it's about consistency over time. If you need another few weeks on the assisted version, that's not failure, that's exactly how it should work. Your body will tell you when it's ready to progress, but that's not the biggest mistake people make with this exercise. Dr. Mitchell, tell us about the 3rd level, because I have a feeling this is where things get really interesting. This one genuinely surprises most people, because they don't expect an advanced senior exercise to look like this. But it works incredibly well, and it's very safe when done correctly. Walk us through it. There are 2 ways to progress once the unassisted version feels easy. Option 1. Added resistance. Hold a light dumbbell, a filled water bottle, or even a soup can in each hand while performing the same sit-to-stand movement. This adds resistance, which continues challenging the muscles to grow stronger even as bodyweight alone becomes easier. Option 2. Single leg emphasis. Perform the sit-to-stand, but shift most of your weight onto one leg as you rise, keeping the other leg lightly touching the ground for balance support only. This dramatically increases the strength demand on one side at a time, which closely mirrors how we actually use our legs when walking, climbing stairs, or recovering from a stumble. That's fascinating, because walking really is just single leg balance, over and over. Exactly, and that's why this progression is so powerful. It's not just about bigger muscles. It's about training the coordination between strength and balance, which is really what prevents falls in real-world situations. Why does this work from a science perspective? This taps into a principle called progressive overload, the idea that muscles need continually increasing demand to keep adapting and growing stronger. Research on older adults consistently shows that even light to moderate resistance training, done this way, produces meaningful strength gains, improved bone density, and better balance scores, often within just 8 to 12 weeks. What benefits should someone expect at this level by this stage? Many of my patients report feeling stronger than they did 10, even 15 years earlier. That's not an exaggeration. It's simply what happens when you consistently and progressively challenge these muscles. Improved confidence on stairs, easier travel, more independence in daily tasks. This is where it really compounds out. How should someone structure this? 2 to 3 sets of 6 to 10 repetitions per side for the single leg version, or 8 to 12 repetitions with light added weight, 2 to 3 times per week. And again, always ensure a stable surface or chair is nearby for balance support if needed, even at the advanced level. Safety never becomes optional, no matter how strong you get. I really want to encourage anyone watching who's even attempting the beginner version. This is a journey with real, visible stages of progress. You don't need to rush toward level 3. Simply moving forward at your own pace is the win. Okay, let's zoom out for a second, because we've covered a lot. Dr. Mitchell, if someone only remembers one thing from this entire video, what should it be? That strength is not something you either have or don't have as you age. It's something you can actively build, starting today, with one simple movement. The sit to stand, in whichever version fits your current ability, trains the exact muscles responsible for your independence. Getting up, staying balanced, recovering from a stumble, living life on your own terms. And it all builds on itself. Assisted, to unassisted, to advanced. Every single stage matters. Every repetition is depositing strength into a bank account you'll need later. And unlike money, this account actually compounds. The stronger you get, the more capable your body becomes at building even more strength, safely and steadily. That's such a powerful way to think about it. Before we wrap up, what final advice would you leave with everyone watching? 3 things. First, consistency beats intensity every single time. Doing 5 repetitions every day will get you further than doing 50 once, and then quitting for 2 weeks out of soreness or discouragement. Second, be patient with your body. Muscle rebuilding takes time. Typically, noticeable strength improvements show up within 4 to 6 weeks of consistent practice, and more significant changes by 3 months. That's completely normal. Don't judge your progress after just a few days. And third, the most common mistake I see is people pushing into pain thinking that's progress. It's not. Mild muscle fatigue is normal. Sharp or joint pain is your body's signal to stop and reassess, possibly with a doctor or physical therapist. Listen to that signal. Don't override it. That's such important, grounded advice. Consistency, patience, and listening to your body, not rushing it. Exactly. This one exercise, done the right way, can genuinely change the trajectory of someone's independence for years to come. It's simple, but simple doesn't mean small. It means sustainable. Dr. Mitchell, thank you so much for breaking this down so clearly today. Thank you for having me, and to everyone watching, I'm genuinely rooting for you. Start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. All right, that's a wrap on the one exercise every senior should be doing. If this video helped you, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this information reach more people who need it, and that includes people who might not even realize yet how much this could help them. Drop a comment letting us know which level you're starting with today. Beginner, intermediate, or advanced. We read every single one, and honestly, it helps us know exactly what to cover next. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Vital Years. We publish new videos with real experts, breaking down exactly what actually works for staying strong, mobile, and independent as you age. Now, if strength is the foundation, balance is what keeps that foundation from ever being tested in the first place. So right after this, check out our video just above me. where Dr. Mitchell walks through the 3 balance exercises that dramatically cut fall risk. And honestly, they pair perfectly with everything we just covered today. I'll see you in that one. The end.